Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Are you tired of staring at an image during the PTE course speaking test and thinking, what on earth am I supposed to say about this? Well, don't worry. Today, I'm not just going to show you how to describe an image, I'm going to give you super practical, creative strategies to absolutely nail this task and stand out with confidence. Let's get started. So when it comes to the task structure, you will get 25 seconds to prepare and you will have 40 seconds to describe the image. Remember, there is only one attempt, no second chances. So you have to be really mindful. And here are some of the skills that will be assessed for this task. Oral fluency, how smooth and natural your speech is. Pronunciation, so how clear your articulation is, and also about your confidence, and also about the content knowledge, covering the key points with enough details. And here are some key strategies. The first one, when you are describing an image, is about identifying the key elements, whether it could be a graph, chart, or map. Try to identify the key elements and the structure. So always start with the introduction, then the main details, and finally, you should end with the conclusion. And use connectors, example, in contrast, to summarize, though, although, even though. Try to use the linkers. Manage your time. Don't rush. Stay calm. If you forget something, try to move on smoothly. So these are the types of images that you will get when you are attempting describe an image. Okay. So it could be a bar graphs or line charts. If it is like a bar graphs or line charts, you need to focus on trends. For pie charts kind of images, discuss about the percentages and maps. Usually it highlights the landmarks or directions, and process diagrams try to explain the steps in sequence. Photos or illustrations, so you need to describe the setting and actions. So this is just an overall idea about describe an image. In this video, we are going to learn about how to explain a bar graph and how you need to speak fluently and naturally, very clear way. So grab a pen, your favorite snack, and let's go. What is this task is about? First, let's understand what you're really being tested on. So as I told you in the describe an image task, you get a bar graph on your screen. You will have 20 seconds to analyze it, 40 seconds to speak about it. It might sound very easy, right? But here's the twist. It's not just about reading numbers. It's about communicating the trends, comparisons, and key points in fluent and clear English. Imagine you're explaining this to a friend, not reading a textbook aloud. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the strategy. Are you ready? Strategy when it comes to describing a bar graph. I'm giving you a super flexible, foolproof structure. I call this as the 5 step bar graph breakdown. Step 1 is introduction. What does the graph shows? Start with a sentence that introduces the image. Example, you can say like the bar graph illustrates the number of tourists visiting 5 countries in 2023. I'm just giving you an example. And the next step is overview. So what's the overall trend? This is your golden moment to show the big picture. Step 3, compare and contrast. Very, very important. You need to mention the key details. You can pick out any 2 or 3 comparisons that stands out. Okay. And step 4, try to use numbers selectively. You don't have to mention every number. You can use numbers when they highlight your point. And the last step is conclusion or prediction if needed. So, in conclusion, try to wrap it up with a summary or with a guess, like, what could be the predicted information. Here is a tip, try to use linking words like whereas, on the other hand, similarly, in contrast, to keep your flow smooth and logical. So these are some of the linking words that you can use it during the bar graph explanation. Let's see some of the skills and how to use them. Now let's talk about the skills you need to master this task and how you're going to apply them. The first one is observation. Try to identify quickly what's important. You don't have time to describe everything. Got it? And the second one is prioritization. Focus on the highest, lowest, and anything unusual or unexpected. And language variety. Don't repeat the same phrases like, increased, decreased, or remain constant, stood at, peaked at, dropped to. Use them creatively. Don't use the same phrases again and again. Fluency over perfection. You won't get points for silence while thinking of some fancy words. Don't do that. Keep speaking. Even if it's simple English, it's fine. Just keep the flow go. The next one is pronunciation and clarity. You're not being judged on accent, so just speak clearly and naturally. Record yourself and listen back. Let's see an example here. You can just pause the video, take a pen and paper. You can just draw this bar graph and try to identify the key points, make it as a proper structure, and you can make a sample response for speaking. Okay? Remember to use the linkers, whatever we have discussed. So I will also explain this graph for you. So here is the title as number of books read by students in four grades A, B, C, D in 2024. So grade A has 80 books and grade B read 120 books. Grade C read 60 books and grade D read 140 books. All right, we have got 20 seconds to prepare. So what do we do? In your mind, first you need to check for the highest grade. So which is the highest grade? Grade D, 140, right? And the lowest grade, grade C, 60. And comparisons, B and D are quite high. You can make the comparison, right? And the very interesting part is big gap between grade C and the rest, right? So try to incorporate all the things that we have discussed now and make your sample response. We'll see the sample response in the next slide. Once you're done, you can move on to the next slide. So here is my sample response. You can start saying that the bar graph illustrates the number of books read by students across four grades in the year 2024. Overall, grade 4 students read the most books, while grade C students read the least. Specifically, students in grade D read 140 books, followed by grade B with 120 books. Grade A students read 80 books, whereas grade C students only managed to read 60. The data clearly shows a strong reading culture in grades B and D, possibly due to enhanced literacy programs. In conclusion, there is a noticeable difference in reading habits among the grades with a need to encourage more reading in grade C. Now see what happened here. The structure is very clear. Fluent delivery, meaningful observations, and a confident tone. Right? You have got the structure, the skills, and the sample too. Now, let's log this within a few final golden tips. Remember to use a timer to practice speaking for exactly for 40 seconds. And you can record yourself. Then listen like you are the examiner. You can give feedbacks to your own recordings and try to get visual like Google bar graphs, pick one, describe it aloud, make it a 5-minute daily habit, and don't panic. Even if the image is very complex, just focus on what stands out. Nobody expects you to explain the statistics, right? And that's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more PTE core tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.